Let us consider a scenario where you have deployed your web application in a server which is running in cloud. For every incoming request, the server is gonna give a response. But this is not always possible since there might be a need for you to update the application in the server or for that server to have a maintenance duration. During these times, the server might not be able to respond to the incoming request. Also, one more noticeable problem is that this server will be hosted in a specific region, and any request that is originating from the other regions is going to get a bit later response since the package has to be routed to a longer distance. Now, let's take a look on Netflix and PayPal. The total annual income of Netflix for the year 2019 is estimated to be 1.86 billion, which means it is around $59 for 1 second. The total number of subscribers for Netflix is around 182 million. In PayPal, the daily visits is estimated to be 5 million and weekly one-touch transactions is estimated to be 1.5 million. When you have such large customer base, even a 10 seconds of downtime is not acceptable and your server might easily break due to overload. So instead of having one instance, it is best to have multiple instances in different regions so that even if one fails, all the network traffic can be rerouted to the other instances which is present online. This can actually fix the problems like downtime and network latency due to server location. But what if you want to monitor health of all your applications in one place? Or what if you want to replace your failed applications? When I say applications, it doesn't only mean the front end but also the multiple microservices and multiple database instances supporting this application. What if you want to host these microservices and database instances in different regions depending on its needs and make them talk to each other? With container orchestration, you can not only achieve these things, but also you can simply give updates, and if anything breaks, you can easily roll back to your previous versions. You can separately scale your microservices, database instances, and your front ends based on its needs. Apart from these things, load balancing is made much easier with container orchestration between all your nodes or instances. I just listed few things, and you can do much more with container orchestration. But all these things are possible only if your application is running in the form of containers. In a simplest way, I can say that a container is a packed entity of your applications, libraries and binaries. You can containerize any of your application with help of a famous tool called as Docker. Let it be a Python Flask app or a Java Minecraft server, or let it be a simple Node.js backend or your database instance. You can containerize any of them using Docker with just 3 simple steps. First, create a Docker file which is going to be the blueprint or template. Then we need to build it to create a Docker image. And once we have the Docker image, we can simply create n number of containers out of that image. Every time this is not the process, because we have a centralized repository called as Docker Hub, which is analogous to GitHub, and lot of organizations and users create their own images and publish in Docker Hub, so that we can simply pull those images and create containers from them. If you ask me why we need to containerize an application, then I can actually give you some good reasons. The container that we run is completely isolated from its host operating system, which makes it highly secure. Since Docker is present in all the platforms, Windows, Linux and even Mac, the containers that we create runs in the same way in all these operating systems in local machine as well as in all the cloud platforms. If we want to set up a same software in different machines, which generally happens in case of organizations where you and your fellow team members develop and work on same application, then you can consider Dockerizing it and using the image to create containers in all those machines, which will drastically reduce our setup time. And this is because Docker image is a one single entity with all the necessary configurations packed inside it. The daemon process that is necessary to run a container directly shares the kernel of the host operating system and it makes the containers very fast and lightweight at the same time. All these reasons doesn't mean that every time you should run a containerized app. I have given some good links in the description which has some use cases on where we should be running containerized applications. Coming back to orchestration, you can do orchestration with a lot of tools. Among them, I would like to mention 3 famous tools: Kubernetes, Docker Swarm, and Apache Mesos. Very big organizations can have more than thousands of these nodes and can even have more than 1,000,000 containers. The number is quite big enough, which makes it practically not possible to manage each and every lifecycle hook of a container. And only at this time, container orchestration tools help us to perform tasks like these by managing and automating all container lifecycle across all the nodes or instances which is put into orchestration. Let's take Docker Swarm for example. Using Swarm, you can create a cluster of these nodes or instances. In that cluster, you can simply choose n number of manager nodes and remaining nodes to be worker nodes. And you can simply promote or demote these nodes by using simple commands. Inside Swarm, instead of creating containers, you will be creating services, which in turn creates a one-shot operation called as task. And containers are the output result of every task. In a cluster of n nodes, if we create a service with n replicas, then Swarm always tries to spread the number of containers among all the nodes in that cluster. The entire Swarm state is managed by an algorithm called as Raft Consensus Algorithm, and it is stored in a database called as Raft Database, which is present in all manager nodes. Suddenly, if any of the node is dead in the cluster, then Swarm tries to rebalance or maintain the previous state, which will be present in the Raft database. From all these things, I can conclude that the Docker Swarm or any other orchestrator tool just acts like a control system for your cluster of instances.